Capricorn Fashion for everyone who have their ascendant in Capricorn, Venus, because Venus shows what you appreciate, what you find attractive. Ascendant shows the physical appearance of someone, how they like to present themselves to the world, how the world sees them. And also the sun or the moon if you have in Capricorn, because these represent parts, important parts of your personality, and we often would want to express our personality through the fashion that we wear, and often they'll be clashing. If you have ascendant in Capricorn but sun in Sagittarius and moon in Libra, and Venus maybe in Aquarius, so you can be such a melange of different fashions for different occasions. That's why a person is multidimensional, is not one layered, because we're made up of a few signs, each of one. But when it comes to fashion, usually a person dresses like their Venus, their ascendant, or the sun and the moon, or if you see more than 2, 3 planets in the same sign. So if you have this predominance of Capricorn or important Capricorn positions that I talked about, and you can find out if you have those by going to the link below. There is a birth chart calculator at my website, AstroLada.com. You just need to fill in your details, birth of time, place of time, time of birth, place of birth, and you'll see a table which shows you where in what sign each planet is. So check at least 2, 3 of those videos for your ascendant, at least for your Venus, and the sun and the moon. So if you have a Capricorn influence in your horoscope, what is your fashion sense? Well, Capricorn's dresses for success. It dresses to impress, but not to draw attention like a Leo might like in bright colors, and but it dresses for the I cannot say social climbing so much, but so you can fit with the right circles in the right hierarchy, especially something that is conventional and accepted by society in the higher circles of society, so they would look great in suits. When it comes to Capricorns, women with strong Capricorns, anything which is label suits them great, and which is traditional label, maybe like Coco Chanel, or this more subdued brands like the Italian designers that make beautiful designs. So for them, because they're also earth sign Capricorn, the material and the quality is very important. That's why sometimes they're called snobs, just like some of the other earth signs like Taurus, if you have strong influence in Taurus, because they would like to buy quality, they would like to buy brands, and this is because of the status effect brand has also. This is something that Capricorn is very drawn towards, because they're hard workers and they want to show that they've deserved with their hard work, with their slow climbing, and little by little that they climb where society, at the higher levels of society. But it's not always so. Different things can offset, different signs stronger can offset the influence of Capricorn. But if you have Capricorn, you will find yourself dressing up like that. So as I said, suits are fantastic. Also, not complicated shapes, like not no layering. It has to be more somehow. Um, Straight without cuts. The flow shouldn't be interrupted with cuts or with complex details or things, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, which is more of a austere planet, which needs the bare minimum. And Saturn also is the planet of structure. So Capricorn is very much, for them, is so important, the structure of the suit, like beautiful shapes, beautiful curves and angles in the beautiful cut. Capricorn, when people have Capricorn strong, often they're fascinated by design, or by buildings, by interior design or outer design of building, architecture, and it's the same. They apply the same to their suit. So they'll probably love to go to one of those Seville Road handmade suits, and they appreciate anything fashion where it's put a lot of hard work and personal attention to detail, personal attention to everything, where you know that someone has worked hard on it. Because Saturn rules, the ruling planet of Capricorn rules rules any kind of effort, any kind of painstaking effort, and Capricorn appreciate that. That's why they're great fans of those handmade suits, or collections or clothes that are handmade, that are more, little bit more special, and even they can go for knitted, lace, handmade, any kind of handmade materials, but they tend to be traditional. They tend to stick to tested, tried fashions, nothing too wild, nothing too crazy and new. And usually they'll stick to the darker colors like the grays, the blacks. And sometimes they can go multicolored, like multicolored again, but it will be in some kind of a print that is more acceptable, that is like something checkered, that is not too eccentric and unusual, and actually colors, mixed colors really suit them, because Capricorn, the ruling color of Capricorn is not one color but mixture of colors, like patterns, like something that repeats, that is pattern. I'll show you a few pictures here to give you an example. So women with Capricorn, they look fantastic in such kind of clothes as well, but also the very those print clothes, but also the very traditional colors like grays and darks as well. And also, it's a typical for Capricorn is the little black dress when they want to get sexy, because it's something tested, tried, it always works, and it shouldn't be too short or too revealing, but they look fantastic in that. And as I said, the structure of the suits is very important. The structure of the clothes, it's so good. And the volume is not usually big. They try and stay with small volume, because Saturn, that rules Capricorn, is about contraction. So usually the men would have more fitted suits, or the women will have suits that, like, without the big paddings and the big bouffants or anything like that. The simplistic. And status clothes, as I said, straight, no cuts, usually one piece type of clothes. And interesting thing is, because Capricorn rules old things, but old, tasted, classy things. So they look great in vintage. I used to know a few Capricorns, people with Capricorn strong in them, and they'd come up with glasses from the 80s, but not those electric or something crazy, like the tested Ray-Bans, and they'll put them on. They look fantastic. They can go to a great they can go to like the most miserable little shop from with vintage clothes and come out with a great suit, with a great piece together. Somehow they have an eye for that. And also they look fantastic. They might be drawn often to heirlooms, like inherited heirlooms, something that comes from the past, something that has a bit of a history attached to it. Especially if it has been handed down generation to generation. Capricorns would appreciate that. It has to be simple, but of good value, of good quality, and vintage, fantastic. And if they go a little bit more extreme in fashion, which is sometimes rare, but Saturn is the sign of restriction, so they might feel very attracted to some kind of a more bondage fashion. We're talking about more extreme, maybe not so much the goth, but I don't know what exactly it is called. Those people that they wear corsets very tight, and a little bit of S&M, domination, submission look, and or office look. There is something that they find very attractive, very sexy. And yes, I think that's the most important thing, is to keep it simple and to keep it classy with Capricorn. Usually, for the bigger majority of usually Capricorns are very good dressers. They're dapper dressers. You they're not like, wow, when you walk you'd see them from a mile, but when you come next to them you say, wow, what a classy woman, what a classy man. They wear great suits. Like, who can I give you as example? I mean, like Don Draper from from Mad Men. It's something that reminds me very much of a Capricorn influence in him. I haven't looked at his horoscope. I think he's a Pisces, but I'm giving you an example, what kind of fashion it is. So yeah, please fill in the gaps. I probably forgot to mention a lot of things. And if you have some strong Capricorn influence, what do you find yourself drawn towards fashion-wise? What looks really great on you? Thank you.